You're watching Royal Report 24/7. Before we begin, if you've been following the story of our future king and queen, you know the past year has been one of their most challenging. But what if, hidden beneath the relentless public pressures and private trials, something profound and unbreakable was being forged? This isn't a story about fairy tales. It's a story about resilience, partnership, and a bond that emerges from fire stronger than before. Subscribe and hit the bell now, because what we're seeing is not just a return to duty, but the emergence of a powerful, renewed partnership poised to define the monarchy's future. The public image has always been one of steadfast unity. The polished appearances, the coordinated smiles, the seamless choreography of their public life. But for those who watch closely, the year just past told a different, quieter story. It was a year etched with strain. The immense, unrelenting pressure of stepping into the roles of Prince and Princess of Wales under a new king. The global spotlight that intensified 1,000-fold. The painful rupture with Harry that casts a long shadow. And most profoundly, Catherine's own private health journey. A battle fought with dignity behind palace walls. To the outside world, they were pillars. But insiders whispered of the immense weight those pillars were bearing, and of a partnership stretched by forces few could truly comprehend. Tonight, we are moving beyond the headlines to explore what multiple sources within their circle and seasoned royal observers are calling a significant and moving renewal. The claim is that after navigating the most turbulent waters of their marriage, Prince William and Catherine have emerged not just intact, but with a deeper, more intentional, and fiercely protected partnership. This isn't a return to how things were. It's an evolution into something more powerful. It's a bond that's been tested, stripped back to its foundations, and deliberately rebuilt. To appreciate the significance of this renewal, we must first acknowledge the pressure cooker they've been living in. The transition from the Cambridge family to the Wales family was not just a change of title. It was a seismic shift in destiny. Overnight, they became the undeniable, central future of the monarchy. Every word, every gesture, every decision was scrutinized under a microscope of global expectation. William, our sources say, felt the weight of his father's new reign and the burden of being the sole, uncontested heir in a way he never had before. The safety net of being a second son in the public imagination was gone. He was now the man in waiting, and the world was watching. For Catherine, the pressure was of a different but equally intense nature. She was no longer the future consort in the distant someday. She was the Princess of Wales, a title laden with history, comparison, and immense public devotion. Her every project, her fashion, her parenting became a national talking point. And then, of course, came the health challenge, a deeply personal matter that demanded privacy, strength, and a withdrawal from the public she has dedicated her life to. Insiders describe this period not as a pause, but as a profound recentering. It was a time, we are told, where the relentless noise of the world fell away, and the only things that mattered were health, family, and the core partnership at the heart of it all. The second shift is in the professional dynamic. Observers are noting a new, powerful synchronicity in their public work. Where once their patronages might have seemed more separate, there is now a clearer, more intentional alignment. Catherine's groundbreaking early years work is increasingly being framed not just as her project, but as a core pillar of their future reign's legacy. William's Homeward's initiative to end homelessness finds natural synergy with her focus on family foundations. Insiders say their meetings with aides are now more collaborative than ever. They're truly acting as COSA-OS of the Wales brand, with a unified, long-term vision they're building together, brick by brick. But the most telling change, according to those granted a glimpse, is in their unspoken communication. There's a renewed ease, a softer energy between them in public. The glances exchanged during engagements are less about choreography and more about genuine connection. A quick check-in, a shared private joke in the middle of a formal walkabout. Body language experts we've consulted point to a decrease in what they call public-facing unison and an increase in private-facing intimacy, even in crowded rooms. They stand as a unit, but it feels less like a uniform pose and more like a magnetic, chosen closeness. So, what catalyzed this deepening? Our analysis points to two profound factors. First, the shared experience of vulnerability. Catherine's health journey created a space where William had to step into a more vulnerable, caregiving role, and where Catherine had to allow herself to be cared for. This reversal of their typical dynamic, where he is often the protected one, forged a new level of mutual dependence and respect. They faced a fear together, away from the cameras, and emerged with a renewed understanding of what they truly mean to one another. Second, the external pressures acting as a forge. The very forces that could have pulled them apart, the intensified scrutiny, the endless commentary, the familial tensions, have, according to their friends, had the opposite effect. They have closed ranks. The world outside Adelaide Cottage has become noisier and more demanding. So the world inside has become more fortified, more intentional, and more precious. The partnership has become their essential fortress. This renewed bond has profound implications for the monarchy. They are modeling a modern partnership of equals, one built on evident affection and shared purpose, which stands in stark, positive contrast to the fractured relationships that have dominated headlines. They are demonstrating that stability and warmth are not weaknesses, but the monarchy's greatest strengths. King Charles, insiders note, looks upon this partnership not with jealousy, but with immense relief and pride. It is the solid ground upon which the future of his life's work will rest. The challenges haven't disappeared. The scrutiny will never lessen. The shadow of the past remains. But what we are witnessing, according to those who know them best, is the emergence of a partnership that has been stress-tested and proven. It is a bond no longer taken for granted, but actively nurtured. It is quiet confidence replacing youthful promise. It is the deep, strong roots of an oak tree, having weathered the storm, now ready to support the canopy of a reigned in an institution built on dynasty. They're building something more powerful, a true and resilient partnership. Their greatest legacy may not be in the crown, but in the quiet strength of the bond that will one day bear it. To follow the continued evolution of this defining royal partnership as they build a future throne on a foundation of renewed understanding, you need to stay with us. Subscribe to Royal Report 24/7, ring the bell, and share your thoughts below. Have you noticed this new chapter in their partnership? We read every comment. We'll be here, documenting the quiet strength of the House of Wales. Until next time, this is Royal Report 24/7, signing off.